Welcome back to another Fatlazy banger. What are we doing this week, Fatlazy? Well, we're returning to the OG video. I can't log out until I get a mount drop. We're back, baby. We're back in this. What are the rules? The rules are simple. I can't log out until I get a mount drop of around 2% from a dungeon, a raid, a rare, a world boss. You know, the usual score. However, this time, it's a little different. Over the last two videos, I ran every single instance which drops a mount, which I haven't got. But I want to show you guys the instances which I have got, but it would be very pointless of me to run them if no one would benefit from getting the mount drop. So what I'm going to do is I'm bringing along one of my best friends, one of my best buddies. It's, of course, give him a round of applause. It's Porky, everybody. Woo, Porky! Woo, we love you, Porky! And we're going to be running some instances together, and it gave me the idea to do this more often, to do it with you guys. So what I've done is I've created a community Discord. The link will be down below, and I thought every so often I could run the raids with you lot, and we can still do this challenge but do it together. Whether you're in EU or US, it doesn't matter. I'm going to level a character on the US servers so I can do it with you guys. So I was thinking, you know, maybe one week it's just Fatlazy doing the Can't Logout challenge. Maybe the next week I'm doing it with a bunch of you guys in Europe. And then the week after that, I'll be heading over the pond to America to run some mounts for you lovely boys and girls. And then that way, everybody's a winner. We're all happy. Whether you're Fatlazy, you're my European buddies, or last but not least, you're my rock, flag and eagle, God bless America. You're my American buddies. And we can all farm mounts together. And I really want to start building up a community on this channel. So yeah, link will be in the description below. Go check out the Discord. And let's farm some mounts together as a team. Let's do this. So, a little time check before we start the challenge. It's just gone 3 o'clock in the afternoon, as you can see. And it's about time that we started farming some mounts. So, where are we heading to first? It's of course the iconic Ice Crown Citadel in Northrend. And here, sat upon his icy throne, we can find the one and only Arthas, the Lich King, who drops probably the most iconic mount in World of Warcraft, Invincible. So we killed him, we let off a prayer, and then we looted him for sweet, sweet nothing to start us off. Brilliant, just brilliant. But it's alright, because I've got Invincible, but my friend doesn't. Way unlucky, Porky. And we flew to our next destination. Still in Northrend, we're heading to Utgard Pinnacle, and off the third boss, Skadi the Ruthless, it drops the blue Proto-Drake, a really cool looking mount. And Porky wants it, he wants it bad. So we defeated the boss. We did our annual prayer. Pray with us, guys. Pray for the mount. Pray for Porky. Pray for the loot. No loot. Didn't think so. Ah well. Moving on to Blackrock Foundry in Gorgrond in the Warlords of Draenor expansion, and in the top of the foundry we can find Blackhand himself. What a cool ass mace he's got, and just what a cool boss he is. He can drop the Iron Hoof Destroyer, a really cool mount which can make you walk around the main cities feeling 10 feet tall, 100 feet for that matter. But will the mount drop? Of course it won't. Come on. Next up on our list is Karazhan, where off the first boss, Atuman the Huntsman, he drops the Fiery Warhorse. A nice little mount. But will we get it? Absolutely not. Moving swiftly on to Sefek Halls, where in heroic mode, you can find and loot the cool raptor mount, Anzu. And again, surely this time we get it. Surely not. God, give me a mount game. Next up, we're heading to Kalimdor, and we're heading over to Dustwallow Marsh, where we can find the infamous Onyxia's Lair raid. And inside the lair, deep within, we can find the Resting Dragon, the one that everybody knows from Classic. It's of course Onyxia herself, and she can drop the Onyxian Drake mount. Another cool mount, pretty much just looks like her. But will we get it? That's the question. Come on, Fatlazy, come on, Porky, you can do this. No, we can't. We had now been in this challenge for just over an hour. With the time vastly approaching on 420, it was time to blaze on over to our next raid, the Throne of the Four Winds in Uldum. And the last boss here, Alakia, drops the Drake of the South Wind mount. Pretty cool. And as me and Porky stared at each other floating in the air from across the crystal, we praised to the high heavens for a mount. And they didn't answer us, goddammit. We got absolutely nothing again. Brilliant, this run's going so smooth. I'm sure a mount's just around the corner. So I think it's about time we headed to another double header raid. It's the infamous Firelands. What a raid. Oh my god, Fireland Andy's at the ready. And off the first boss, Alastraza, she drops the Flame Talon of Alastraza, the Fire Chicken mount. So, will we get the mount? Who knows? Psych. I know, of course we didn't get it. But we still got a chance in Firelands, because moving on to the last boss of the raid, it is of course Raggy Boy, Ragnaros, who drops the Pure Blood Firehawk. What a mount. What a cool ass mount this one is, a big shiny firebird, why wouldn't you want it? So, we killed Ragnaros, we watched him melt to death and going, no, I can't believe I'm dead, save me, but he died. And we walked on over, we took our sweet time, because we knew the mount was gonna drop. Only joking, of course it didn't drop, fuck me. Swiftly moving on to another double header mount drop raid, or should I say dungeon, we're heading over to Zul'Gurub in northern Dragonthorn Vale, where, off the boss High Priestess Kilnara, you can get the Swift Zulian Panther, along with the second mount drop of the instance of Bloodlord Mandoka, where you can get the armoured Razishi Raptor. And you can bet your bottom dollar, we killed both bosses and got, yep you guessed it, absolutely now. We then decided to kill a couple world bosses whilst on our way to the next raid, and if you can guess it off the world bosses, then bonus points to you. The first world boss is Galleon, who drops the Son of Galleon mount, but the thing about these mounts is they're a 1 in 2,000 chance, making them so much more rare than any of these other mounts we've been running. And obviously, we didn't get the Son of Galleon. We then made our way to Narlak the Stormlord, who drops the Thundering Cobalt Cloud Serpent, a really awesome looking mount. I'm so glad I have this one. But yeah, again, 1 in 2,000 odds. So when we killed it, you know, probability wise, came through, we didn't get it. But where we're going next, it's quite obvious now if you're into WoW, it's Throne of Thunder. Another double header, what's that, back to back to back double headers? Come on Fatlazy, surely a mount's dropping. And what drops in here? Well, the first boss in the raid that drops a mount is Horidon, who drops the Spawn of Horidon mount, a cool looking Triceratops. And will we get it? Come on now, I'm due a mount. No, brilliant. But it's okay, it's okay. There's also another boss in this raid that drops a mount. I'm talking about G-Kun, who drops the Clutcher G-Kun mount, a flying mount. And we're gonna fly to the moon when we get it. No, we're gonna keep our feet on the ground. Stay humble, stay mount farming. In my beloved Pandaria is where we'll remain as we head over to the Siege of Orgrimmar, where the last boss, the infamous, the badass Garrosh Hellscream, who did nothing wrong by the way, will drop the Corcoran Juggernaut mount, a big ass metal scorpion. What isn't there to like about it? But will we get it? Will I loot this and be able to give it to Porky? No. Beginning to become a pattern, a cycle of no mounts this video, but you're getting the gist, we're having fun. Next up, we're heading over to BFA, we're heading to Nazmir, we're heading to the Underrot, where the last boss, the Unbound Abomination, drops the Underrot Krog. And again, no luck there. So we stayed in BFA, we headed over to Mechagon to the Mega Dungeon, where off the Oppression Unit boss, it drops the Mechagon Peacekeeper, a cool little Mechagony spider mount. And again, we beat its ass down from the sky, destroyed that, for no loot whatsoever. So we kept moving on. We flew back to Uldum, to Vortex Pinnacle, where the dragon boss Altarius drops the Drake of the North Wind. And you guessed it, we beat him down, and we got absolutely nothing. And with the time now just gone 10 past 6, we were 3 hours into this challenge, and we decided to head to the park in Stormwind for a bite to eat. And it was here, sitting amongst my thoughts, almost 3 hours into the challenge, where I realised I'd ran absolutely everything. Now on this Can't Logout series, I'd shown you every instance, so there was no more need for Mr. Porky. He had things to do anyway, so it was time to go solo, to take this mission on alone. But before we do that, we're at the halfway mark in this video. I just wanted to say, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, it means a lot to me. But above all else on this video, go join the community Discord in the description. That's what I really want to plug, if anything, during this Can't Logout episode, is come on, join, let's have a chat in the Discord, let's get some mount farming done together, and together we can be stronger. Anyways, goodbye Mr. Porky, it's time to get ourselves back in another raid. Or should I say, farm a couple rares, because that's what I thought I'd do, as in real life, I was still tucking into some food, so I quickly went over to Pandaria, to Rayloon, who drops the pristine Cloud Serpent scale, and with this scale, you can then get a rare mount. This cool little serpent thing, the Rajani War Serpent. But we didn't get jack shit, did we? So we then moved on. We went back to BFA. We went back to Overseer Cricks in the caves of Arathi Highlands, where we can find the little donkey mount. And would we get a donkey? Of course we wouldn't. So we headed over to my favourite city in the game, Baralis, where there's the Battle of Dazara Law raid. And in there, we can find 2 mounts. The first mount being Gmod of High Tinker Metatalk, such a cool looking mount. And yeah, we beat his ass down under the blood moon, prayed for a mount, and no mount came our way. So we made our way to Jaina, Lady Jaina, Proudmoore should I say, I'll address you properly, who drops the Glacial Tidestorm, another really cool mount. And in front of that chest, I got the nothing. Yeah, you thought I got the mount, you thought, no, of course I didn't. I then stuck to the BFA raids and headed over to Nylofa, where, off the last boss, the old god Nazoth, he drops, well, is he a he, is an old god, does he even have a cock, who knows? But he drops the Nylofa Overseer mount, and when we're in front of that chest, again, we could feel a mount coming, but it wasn't to be our day. But that wasn't going to get in our way. And on the way to the next raid, I bumped into a rare that drops a mount, Blistermore. Killed him, and what did you know? Nothing there either. But if you can't guess off that rare, the next raid, we're heading over to the Burning Throne. Another 2-drop raid. And off the Fell Hounds, they dropped the Antoran Charhound. A cool looking mount, I must have found this thousands of times and got nothing. And let's make it 1001, getting nothing, why not? Before heading on to Argus the Unmaker, the Titan, the last boss of the raid, I'll tell you what, if the mount doesn't drop and his red scythe does, then hey, at least I've got an item I've been farming for centuries, even if it's not the mount. The mount, by the way, is the Shackle of Urzul. A weird looking mount, and one I'm not too fussed about, to be honest. And I probably shouldn't have said that, because now I've been rewarded with no mount. Brilliant. Whoopee. It was then time to head to everybody's favourite expansion. I'm talking about the best expansion of all time. It's of course Shadowlands. Wow, best expansion ever. If you can't tell, I'm taking the piss. This expansion was the bane of my life, and it's the only time since I started playing WoW that I quit the game. Hence me having no mounts really from Shadowlands, and we're heading over to Sepulchre of the First Ones, where the last boss, the Jailer, drops the Overseer mount. And I will admit, this is a cool mount, and I want it. Give me it, Jailer, you B-Tech Thanos. No Overseer for Fatlazy today. So we moved on over to the Sanctum of Domination, with the greatest villain of all time, Sylvanas, awaits. But not before killing the 9, where the Sanctum Gloomcharger awaited us. Another day, not today. The Sanctum Gloomcharger was not today, my friend. But maybe when we got to the end of this long-ass raid, Sylvanas would drop us something nice. She drops Vengeance. It's an alright looking mount, and I wouldn't mind having it in my collection. So we looted the chest. Would you believe it? For the 2nd week in a row, I got the legendary bow. But where's the mount? Nowhere to be seen. Bows, on the other hand, by the end of this Can't Logout series, I'm going to have enough legendary bows to serve an army with. We then stayed in Shadowlands to possibly my favourite mount of that expansion, the Gear Glider. which drops from Solia in Tazavesh. And we made our way to the last boss. And yep, you guessed it, you know where this episode's going. I've been running mounts non-stop, and I've been getting no drops non-stop. And we're gonna keep that wheel moving. This time, we're hopping out of a raid and into a dungeon, where in King's Rest, the last boss, the king, drops the Tombstalker mount, and I really like this mount. I'd love to have it in my collection. So we open the chest with our hearts hoping for the Rappy Boy. But no, no mount. It was then time to head over to our last multiple drop raid, and this time, it's a free drop raid. It's Dragon Soul. We're after boss Ultraxian. She drops Experiment 12B, and when I went to loot her, I guess Experiment 12B just wasn't meant to be. Then again, after making my way through a very long raid, we reached Deathwing. At the end, sinking into a big butthole called Deep Home. And when we clicked on his rock, we prayed for the 2 mounts which could drop, the Blazing Drake and the Lifebinder's Handmaiden. But neither dragon were to be seen that day. It was now time for the last raid of the run, before we had to move on to other ideas. So we carried on to Ulduar, where the last boss, Yogg-Saron, the Old God, can drop the Fapping mount, otherwise known as Mimron's Head. And I wanted this mount for no particular reason at all. But would it drop? No, of course it wouldn't. God's sake, man! When will a mount drop for me? I then decided to do what I did last episode, and cheese some instances by doing the Stonecore over and 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 over again. But nothing dropped. Hey, I'm slowly losing my mind, and it's getting later and later. It's in the middle of the night now. Oh my god, something dropped. So now Fatlazypanda was officially instance locked, so I couldn't go in any more raids and I couldn't go in any more dungeons. So at around 1 AM I began flying around, and believe me, I flew all across Draenor, not a single fucking mount. I flew all across BFA, and again the same thing there. I then made my way to Shadowlands, and there was a couple up, to be fair. There was Hope Crusher, but obviously it didn't fucking drop. And then there was Famu, who drops the Endermire Flyer. Come on, I would love to fly away from this challenge right now in the middle of the night on this bad boy. But no, of course I didn't. And then headed over to Maldraxxus, where this challenge did end back in Can't Logout episode 1. And there was a couple of rares up which dropped mounts. There was Narissa Heartless, who drops Gorespine. No luck there. Then there was War Tusk, who drops the Blisterback Blood Tusk. Bit of a tongue twister there. Basically looks like Gorespine but a different colour. But you know, same shit, different day, no mount. I then headed over to Mechagon, even though I'd just flown there to think, you never know, maybe there'll be some backup. And to my luck, 2 rares that spawn mounts had just spawned again. The Rust Feather, which drops the awesome Jump Head Drifter. Man, I'd love this mount roundabout now. Come on, game, give me it. Fuck! And the Arachnid Harvester, which drops the Rusty Meccano Crawler. Basically, a shitty looking version of the Mechagon dungeon drop. And that didn't drop. Beautiful. Beautiful. I then headed back to my homeland, Pandaria, because I knew there was rares up in Vale of the Eternal Blossoms which dropped mounts from earlier on. And this time Houndlord Wren was up, who drops the Wren's Stalwart Hound. But no fucking luck there either for Fatlazy. So in one last ditch attempt, I had work the next morning. I need to stop doing these challenges when I've got work, but hey, this Fatlazypanda's got to pay the bills, man. Subscribe to me, and this becomes my full-time job, and I can just stay up every night. 24-hour challenges every day. I won't sleep. I'll just play WoW. Just record challenge videos for you guys. It will be awesome. But I went and did Stonecore, because an hour had passed, and you could bet yourself before I went to bed, I was going to insta-lock myself again. And as you can imagine, I ran, and I ran, and I killed, dragon after dragon for nothing. And it's here in Stormwind where I stand at almost 3 AM. Well guys, I'm so sorry, but I've failed the challenge. We started at 3 PM and we're finishing at 3 AM. I've done a 12-hour grueling shift of trying to get a mount to drop, and unfortunately I have to sit here and say I'm sorry guys, I let you down. I still hope this was an entertaining video. But if we pull up the new leaderboard system which I've made, check this out. Off episode 1, we completed the challenge, and we completed it in about 6 hours, so not too shabby there. And we got the Maldraxxus mount, the battle scarred rat as I'm gonna call it. Then in episode 2, we were going for about 9 hours, and we ended it. We got Rivendare's Death Charger, and what a way it was to end that episode. I'm still buzzing that I got that mount. And then on episode 3, for the first time, after 12 hours, it seems to be increasing by 3 hours each time I try to do this, we got sweet nothing. So I'm going to have to put a big fat red X in here, along with a sad face, and a note to say do better. That's it for today, guys and girls. Please, I can't stress, join the community Discord, and we can start running some mounts together. And next episode, I swear to God I'm not going to upload that bastard if I don't get a mount. I just really wanted to promote the Discord, so please forgive me, forgive this panda. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff, and until next week, keep it easy.